episode of the Funk Chop. Today, carrot cake. Because why not put vegetables in cake? Clever idea. Also, just a side note, I decided that each video I'm making, I'm going to stick a different cooking utensil in my hair. Today is spatula. Because, well, why not? So, of course, we start with the list of ingredients. Here's what you need to make a carrot cake. And I'm going to give you options for gluten-free or regular, but this recipe and all the recipes I make are vegan, which the word vegan even kind of gets judged. It just means there's no eggs or dairy. So most people who have any of those allergies can eat this. That's why I cook everything vegan. So let's start with the carrots. Very important ingredient. So there's lots of kinds of carrots out there. There's big, huge ones that I think are called Korean carrots. There's ones like this. These are the regular kind that you get here in Canada. There's little baby carrots in the package. Which ones do you think are the best? You guys, size doesn't matter. Or whatever. What matters with the size of the carrots is how small you make them. And most people for a carrot cake will grate the carrots. And I don't like that because A, I always cut my fingers on the grater, and B, it takes too long, and C, they're too small, those pieces. They lose a lot of their moisture when you do that. And so once again, what I do for the carrots is whiz them around in this little chopper. And you want them to just turn into little tiny chunks. I'll show you up close once we go to mix all the ingredients. But just take some carrots and huck them in the little chopper and chop them up. Any kind of carrots you have. I actually don't know what makes a good carrot. You don't know until you taste it. You could get organic ones or farm fresh or whatever. Those ones probably taste the best, I imagine. So you need carrots. You need some sweetener. So for this recipe, it's golden yellow sugar, and of course I do most of my baking shopping at Costco, so I get it there. It's just Rogers golden sugar, which is like a light brown sugar. You could use a regular brown sugar too. You need some spices. I'm just going from front to back here. This huge mother of a thing came from Costco too. Nutmeg. You just need a few teaspoons, so I think I'll have enough until the year 3000 and something. Cinnamon. So those two spices, and also there's some other things you can add to the recipe too. You could add a bit of ginger, some allspice, some cloves. There's different spices that make it taste delicious. So you need some spices. You need some form of vinegar. When you make things vegan, vinegar interacts with the baking powder for this one, and that's what makes it kind of hold together. And so you usually need some kind of acidity, lemon juice, vinegar, and I don't think it actually matters what kind of vinegar you use. I buy this at Costco, of course. It's organic apple cider vinegar, and so that's what I use. You need some kind of oil. So I'm using canola oil because that's just what I buy. You need some flax seeds or ground flax, because if you do vegan baking, we don't use eggs, and you need something that congeals or kind of holds things together. So flax, if you've ever added some water to some ground flax, it starts to congeal. And so you need some flax ground, because the little coating of the seeds doesn't allow it to do that. So it needs to be ground. So you need some flax, you need some soda and baking powder, and then you need some flour. I'm not having regular flour around because I'm very safe with the gluten-free, but this is a gluten-free flour mix that I just make myself with some oat flour that I grind up, some potato starch, some sorghum flour, some rice flour. I think whatever I happen to have on hand, some tapioca starch or arrowroot powder or something like that. So that's mostly all of it. You could sprinkle in a bit of salt in there too. Another thing you can add are add-ins. There are so many delicious things you could put in a carrot cake. Let's talk about that. You could go the fruit route and add things like raisins. Well, raisins are grapes, they're a fruit. pineapples, you could add some craisins or cranberries, you could add some chunks of apple. Like, why not allow some of these fruits and veggies to hang out together in your cake? You could also add things like nuts, walnuts, cashews, pecans, slivered almonds. Coconut is a delicious addition to a carrot cake. You could also do seeds, pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. You could add some whole flax just for some nutritional value in there also. Some chia seeds, you name it. Just get creative. Throw some stuff in your carrot cake. It adds flavor, it adds nutritional value. Why not? So when we're going to mix this up, I'll just give you the order of things and then I'll show you. All the dry things together first, so the sugar, the flour, the baking soda and baking powder, your spices. Put those together in a bowl, just whirl it around, make sure there's no lumps. And then I mix the vinegar in with the flax eggs. So because those things mix well, I let those sit. And then I measure out the oil, of course, in my handy little bowl. Then I dump the flax, either the flax into here or here into the flax, and then I mix those things together. We put the carrots in the dry ingredients, dump the wet ingredients over top, and you start a mixing. Here's how you make a flax egg. You need to take a tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of flax, 3 tablespoons of hot water or warm water. So you take, for this recipe, 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, dump them in a bowl, and then I actually just take 1/3 of a cup, but you could measure out 6 tablespoons of water into your flax, and then you let it sit. Because you'll notice as it sits, it starts to congeal. So that's how you make a flax egg. Another tip for this recipe, if when you're mixing it up it seems a bit dry, just give it a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, let it sit, because the moisture comes out of the carrots and that's what helps it stick together and mix up well. So wait, don't add anything to it, just give it some moments. It might be a problem if you have bought some kind of dry, like shredded carrots already that are shredded. Those get very dry, they don't have enough moisture in them, so maybe avoid using things like that. But if you've got some fresh carrots and you chopped them up, there's going to be enough moisture, so just give it some time. Here's a little tip on parchment paper. Get your pan slightly wet first, like rinse it, just a few drops. I don't know if you can see. Just a little bit of moisture in there, so it acts like glue. When you stick your paper down, it holds it in. So this line, I use 9x13 pan for this one, you guys. Line it with some parchment paper. See? We'll dump it in. Look at the texture of this. It's very thick, right? It's thick, almost like a cookie dough. That's what you want, because as it bakes, the moisture comes out, you guys. Dump it into the pan. 9 by 13. You could do some round pans, like circle 9-inch round, or cupcakes if you wanted to do carrot cupcakes. I'm doing 9 by 13. Just press it down, press it into the corners. You'll pop this baby in the oven about 30 minutes at 350 degrees. And I want to show you, I don't usually use my big oven. I use a toaster oven. Ta-da! And why I use this baby is because my big oven is old. It doesn't work very well. It takes about 20 minutes to heat up. First of all, it's not energy efficient. Second, I don't have time to wait for 20 minutes for that thing to heat up. And third, that's expensive. It's 220 volts, you guys. Your oven is. So I'm just cheaping out and using this baby little thing. It works. It heats up in about 5 minutes. It fits a 9 by 13 pan in there. It's fast. It's efficient. It's cheap. That works for me. And here it is, all finished and iced, you guys. Et voila. I actually put a bit of frosting in between and then layered it so that there's 2 layers with some frosting on top. Delicious carrot cake. Try it out. Add anything you want. It's delicious, nutritious. I'm gonna make a different video on how to make the frosting because I have the best icing, sugar-free. Make it with just regular sugar frosting. That's not as sweet. It's so creamy and vegan. So check that out in another video. But for today, carrot cake. Enjoy!